What's up, guys? Welcome to Box Football, and I'm back here with a special edition with two new guys. They've been on here before. They're special guests, as always, Mikey and Lurkin, and they're two massive Tottenham fans. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to talk about Tottenham today. But before we talk about Tottenham, a big disclaimer: no Arsenal mention here. We cannot mention Arsenal. Whatever happens with them, you deal with them later. We're gonna talk only about Tottenham. So let's leave Arsenal. And also, guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I don't know, like, what the hell that was. But, guys, let's get into Tottenham right now. And Nuno comes in. And for some weird reason, Tottenham are top of the table with three straight wins, no goals conceded. Harry Kane stays at the club. You brought in a world record defender for the club, and everything just seems to be rosy right now, Mikey. Where do you think Tottenham are going to be at the end of the season? And are you convinced by what you've seen from Nuno so far?
It's tough because obviously you don't want to toot your own trumpet when you're sitting top after only 3 games. But I think what people mistaken, we have played 2 of the teams that were considered maybe bottom half, but we did play the champions as well, and we won that as well. And we didn't concede against the champions. So, I mean, I think it's the best start we could have asked for, considering. I think the business in the summer, it wasn't 10 out of 10, but it wasn't a 5 out of 10 either. Like, it was in between that. Because we got rid of players that we had to get rid of, aka the Sissokos, the Auriers, we got rid of them. So we did the cleanup that we needed to do, but we also brought in some really good players in really good positions and some really good prospects as well. And I think what people don't understand is they're going, oh, it's more prospects coming in. But again, we've got a guy that's got an ambition and a vision now in Paratici, who you can see through the signings. I mean, that Pape Matar guy, like, let me tell you, this guy's going to be a player, James. Like, and I know we've only loaned him back, so I'm talking about the future. But this guy was being chased by all the big boys. So I think overall, I think it's a great start. I think we have to build on it. So next, like, Saturday, we have to beat Palace. Like, that's the type of team we'd lose to if we're not going to want to. That's the type of team we normally lose to. So Palace is a big game. I mean, when we get to the Chelsea game, that's when we can start, like, thinking, oh, a draw here, I'll take that. You know what I mean? Because Chelsea, big side.
Now, Mikey, you touched on something. You mentioned the teams you played. In my opinion, I believe Tottenham have had one of the hardest starts to the league season. The fact that you had to go against the champions, Man City, go away to Wolves in Molineux, and also had a tough game against Watford, who to me will be hovering around that 11 to 15 positions. So to me, they're going to be one of the decent sides out of the new promoted sides. Now, Lurkin, you've been to watch Tottenham so far. Have you seen a change in an approach since Nuno has came in?
Yeah, so luckily I've got a season ticket this season. I mean, we'll go back to the first game around City. I think the general sort of feeling around the stadium was, you know, this could go one way here. We're either going to get smashed by City, or we'll put up a good fight, maybe lose by a goal, or even beat City by a goal. Obviously, we won the game, but I think I've noticed a slight difference in sort of not just tactics. I think the tactics hasn't changed so much because I don't think he's got all the players he wants. Obviously, although he signed a few players, they're not sort of being integrated into the squad just yet. But I feel the atmosphere in terms of the team spirit has definitely changed. I think they're all fighting for each other. I think under Mourinho at the start, when we've done so well, you could see glimpses of it. But I think Nuno's come in and actually he's sort of made it sort of like a family environment. Everyone's buying into his philosophy. I think the sign of Paratici now, you can clearly see the thinking behind where we're going to take the club in terms of they're bringing in young players with huge amounts of talent. As Marky said about Sarr, we've got Brian Gill. Obviously, we haven't signed a striker yet, but we've still got sort of Scarlett and Parrott, who are, you know, young prospects. So at the minute, in terms of where we think we're going to finish, I think we'll finish between 5th and 7th, probably more towards 6th and 7th, which I'll be happy with because I think it's definitely a new project. I like the way we're going in terms of the signings we're bringing into the club. Obviously, the way we're playing football at the moment is good, but I still think we're similar to how Jose Mourinho played. But I think give it time and give the players coming in, I think we'll see a more aggressive, more attacking style of play. I think if you look at Nuno's team, Wolves team, and under Bruno Lage, they're playing how Nuno has set them up. I know Bruno's bringing his own tactics in now, but that's the Wolves Nuno created, and that's what you're going to see with Tottenham over the next few years with the right signings, hopefully.
I remember last season. Sorry, Mike. I remember last season, and I spoke about how Mourinho's style was going to be a problem when Tottenham stopped winning games. Do you feel like this could be a similar thing with Nuno? Because the way I look at Tottenham right now is that it's still a similar style, maybe a little bit more attackive, and like we're seeing Dele Alli play a bit more. But I don't think much has really changed. But do you think like the fans will kind of turn, let's say, if like results do stop at a time?
If I come in, I'll come in because I've been watching the game and stuff. Like under Mourinho, like we played counter-attack football. And, that first period of the first season, we played so well, top of the table, and everything was going rosy. And then it sort of capitulated defensively with making so many errors. Like I've since watching Tottenham now, I know it's only been 3 games, and I'm going to Palace away on Saturday, so we'll see maybe how we fare against Palace. But defensively, we're more as a unit, and it's just the basic things like the distances between the centre backs and the full backs. But they're so closely knit together now. So when players do get in behind, I mean, we had Watford's Ismaila Sarr, he was getting in behind quite a lot, but because they were so close and they're so interlinked with each other, we defended so well. And I have to be honest, I was not a big fan of Sanchez. I wanted the guy out. And even against the second game we played, he was terrible at Wolves. He was terrible the first half. But Sanchez has been definitely a player that's massively improved under Nuno. He's so sort of assured of himself now. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to play the ball out. He knows what to do when he's in danger. So it'll be interesting to see how we fare now against teams away in Chelsea and the big teams. But defensively, I've seen a massive improvement, and obviously with that Emerson Royale coming in, it's added to our strength at the back. So yeah, defensively, I think there's a slight difference. Attacking wise, we're still the same as we did on the Mourinho. And the one thing I'm worried about is I love Bergwijn, but if we would have got a Dharma, it would have caused other teams massive problems. Because Bergwijn, for me, he struggles to beat players 1v1s. And now if we would have had a Dharma, we won't have that problem. So teams like Watford and stuff, who were sitting back when we were attacking, if you've got a player who beats 1v1s for like butter and bread, then that for me opens doors not just for Son but for Kane as well.
I think the big thing with Tottenham is, and I think people also overlook this, is the style of play. Now we're playing very on the break football when we attack, so it's very quick. But I think people don't understand about Tottenham is that those are the attackers we have, right? We don't have anyone like Eriksen anymore who can build the play up. Dele Alli ain't that guy, all right? He ain't someone that's gonna. For some reason, he's been playing in a deeper role, James. Now he can retain the ball, but the players that we have are players that are quick and threaten you on the break. So the manager has identified that, and he's built his style around that, which I don't have a problem with. As long as the defensive side is good, our attack is going to be exciting because we've got that exciting pace. Another thing, like Logan said, if we got Adama, James, you know my opinion on that guy. It's lights out when he has the ball. Like you're taking him out or he's taking you out. That's how it's going to be, because and I wouldn't say let's not close that door on that deal just yet. I think January is going to be a big window in terms of that deal, because if he hasn't signed the contract by January, Wolves might be looking to cash in, and I think that is the most realistic signing at the minute for Tottenham in moving down the line. But I think the one point about Sanchez and about a lot of our defenders is Sanchez has always had the ability, right? People need to remember this guy at Ajax was a class above. Like before he came to Tottenham, people can't forget these guys were rating him in the same brackets as De Ligt when he was at Ajax. That he was De Ligt before De Ligt came in. That's how they saw him. He's obviously come to Tottenham. The Premier League has done what the Premier League does and finds out the players. But I think with him, he's always had the physical attributes. He's always had the on the ball attributes, but he never had the tactical attributes. And I feel like Nuno might be that guy that might bring that out. Obviously, we've got the element of Christian Romero coming in. So if you're playing in the centre-back role, you're under pressure or automatically, because this is a guy that is going to take your spot if you don't play well. I think that might have had an influence on Dyer and Sanchez as well. And obviously, Tanganga's had to step up because you know what, he can play in both roles as well. So they've got now the options to window around there. It's all about how do we keep every single player in the squad happy, because Nuno's that type of guy that he'll pick the same side every week, right? If they're doing well. So how do you keep the Lo Celso's happy because he ain't playing? How do you keep the Lucas or Bergbaum? Which one's missing out? How do you keep him happy? And how do you keep the centre back that's not playing happy? That's how I see it. And I think he's done a great job because the Conference League is there, and that's what the Conference League is going to be used for.
Now, okay, Tottenham are 3 games in, all wins. The only team with a 100% record in the Premier League. Crystal Palace on the weekend. Harry Kane has committed to you guys, I'm guessing, for maybe another year or so. What's the limits for this Tottenham team this season? The fact that you have Dele Alli playing, you got Son signed a new deal. Where can this season take you, and what's a successful season for you for Tottenham this season? Lurkin, do you want to start off?
Listen, I'm not against getting in the top 4, but I don't think we'll get top 4 this year. No chance. I think there's a few teams just a bit more advanced in terms of their players, and they've got a few years experience like Leicester. I think Leicester will do well this year. Liverpool will do well. City, got Chelsea, got United. So I don't think we'll get top 4. But if we finish 5th and 7th, and if we get to the Europa Conference League final with a chance of winning it, I think we'll face Rome if we do, because I think Mourinho will be up there. I'll be happy with that. I like the recruitment of young players. I think that's the best way to go about it. Get rid of the dead wood in terms of like Sissoko, Aurier. We've still got a few deadwood players in the team, but I'm guessing we'll get rid of that in the next coming transfer windows. But I'm liking the direction. And obviously I'm excited to see what Nuno does, because I know sort of the philosophy hasn't changed so much in terms of how we play. But it'd be interesting to see if we do go to a new plan B. I know he's talking about having another striker playing a 4-3-2, because against teams like Chelsea, the way we play will suit Chelsea, because Chelsea like to sit back and then hit teams in the attack, and they've got the players to unlock any defence in the world. So, Chelsea will be the game to see how far we are away from that sort of level again. I think Palace will be a tough game as well, because I think we've got 3 players out because of that, Argentina thing and Colombia. I know Son got injured today in South Korea for a friendly. So we might be a bit limited.
It's not a big injury. It's a precaution. They're taking it. It's only a little calf strain, mate. You'll be fine.
But obviously, there's 3 players there that are missing. I know Lo Celso and Romero won't start as anyway, but Sanchez will be a key one to see who fits in there. But I'm not really worried. I know we might lose a few games. I think I've accepted that, but it's if we do lose a game, if it's to a big team like Chelsea, how we lose the game. If we capitulate and lose 3 or 4-0, I won't be happy. But if we put up a fight, show we have a bit of quality, I'll be happy, because I think we are going in the right direction. And I love the fact that Paratici's on the sideline now, and he's, giving his presence on. I think we needed that. And I love the fact Nuno isn't a manager who, behind the scenes, when he's away from training, he likes to meet up with players and have meals and stuff. He's very much, once training's finished, once the preparation's done, I'm not your friend, I'm just your manager. So you come to work for me, and that's it. I think Mourinho, much you can't slay him because he's won loads of things. I think he hasn't realised the modern day player. Once you start being friendly to players, they expect to have returns back. And I think he was favouritism players and stuff. But with Nuno, he's very much, you don't put the effort in, you don't start for me. And that's what Ndombele's faced. But I'm happy that he's in the 23-man squad for the Europa League Conference League. I think if he gets Ndombele, the best out of Ndombele, oh my God, we have got a team. That guy, he'd be dancing rings on, can't he?
Mikey.
The thing is with Tottenham, and that you've mentioned Chelsea and you mentioned Palace. I think I'm not concerned about the big teams this season, because I honestly believe we shouldn't be beating any of those teams that are meant to be in the top 4, right?
Yeah.
The games that are going to define our season are Crystal Palace's, the Brightons, the games that we normally drop points against, because our record against some of the big teams in the last few seasons has been pretty good. Like we've taken we've beaten City a few times. We've beaten United. We've beaten those type of teams. We've gotten draws against the big teams. We've beaten Arsenal. We've beaten teams like that, right? The teams that are going to define our season are the ones that are going to be finishing between 10th and 20th. And those are the teams that we need to get wins against. There's no draws here, wins. Because if we win those games, I honestly believe 5th, definitely, if we can win those type of games. But I honestly think we can knock on the top 4, because I believe top 4 sides we'll lose against those teams. I honestly believe it. You've seen it already.
Okay.
You've seen the draws. You've seen the losses. Those are the type of games you have to win. And if Tottenham can get that right, we only need to get draws, and we can afford to lose against the top sides. Because if we can win those games that we should be winning, I mean, the season is there to get top four, which would be the ultimate. If we get top four, that would be unbelievable from where we were.
I
But
agree.
it's all about how the next 3 months go. And I think Ndombele obviously not getting the move that he wanted. Now it's about how does this guy react, because he's now realized Nuno ain't that guy that's gonna rock up to his house and take him for jogs. Yeah, he ain't gonna do that. All right. This Nuno said it's about picking the team that wants to play for Tottenham. Right. If Ndombele realizes that, and he realizes the only way I'm going to get a move that I want is by playing for the club, we might see something special, because we know what that guy can do. However, if he doesn't, then in January I want to see Tottenham show a bit of ambition and go for Frank Kessie and get Ndombele out. That's what I want to see.
I agree.
But Tottenham fans, tell me what you think. Can Tottenham get into the top four, as Mikey mentioned, top 5, top 6 position? Let us know, guys. Comment down below. Tell us what you think. Thanks for watching. This is Box to Box Football. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and we will see you next time.